The Count of Monte Cristo, he's finally here, guys. He's arrived, the Count himself. So, this is a tale as old as time, honestly. Like, you know, the Count of Monte Cristo, it is a literary classic, and this film is a retelling of said story in film form. There have been many films of it, but this is supposedly the best one from what I've heard. So, for those of you who don't know, the Count of Monte Cristo is the tale of a man, okay? But a measly man who gets betrayed by his best friend, who is in love with his woman. And as such, he gets cast out into a prison where he spends many years trying to escape. And eventually, with the help of an old man, he does. Through their efforts, they're able to, like, learn from each other, and they're able to, like, figure out how to get out of this dang old prison. And after that, the old man teaches them all about how, like, hey, there's, like, this sweet-ass treasure you can get once you finally get out of here, man. And the Count is like, sweet, I can't wait to get it. And eventually, once he gets out, he finds his treasure, and with that money, he's able to figure out his revenge for his evil, devious friend. And once he figures it out, he fucking murders him. It's awesome. It's a sweet revenge tale. Big fan, dude. Big fan. That's the Count of Monte Cristo for you.
So, I think one of the real standouts of this film is the sword fight scenes. They're really fucking good. They're really engaging. I thought they were very fun to watch.
I actually thought they were just fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I like anything of note.
Yeah. So that's strike one for you, Tanner. What's your next?
Well, I do think we spent a little bit too much time in the prison. I thought it started to drag a little bit in there.
I think it makes sense. Like, he spent a really fucking long time there. And so
yeah, he was there
I think it makes sense to, like, spend a bit more time in there than you might like, just to, like, sort of get that feeling of, like, oh yeah, he's, like, been in here for a while, hasn't he?
Okay. I will say, in your little recap, you were saying, oh, and they figured out how to escape. Not really. He kind of just, like, they didn't really do their plan at all. He just was able to take, he took advantage of an opportunity that presented itself.
They figured out how to escape. It was sweet, dude. He was so cunning in that moment.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
My question, though, is why did he, like, go and put the body back in his cell and not just, like, leave it in the tunnel or something?
That's a good question. He should have done
He wanted to.
Yeah. he wanted them to know. He wanted to risk getting caught.
He's a gambler, what can I say?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is like, from my perspective, this is like some fucking... not medieval, but, you know, this era power fantasy shit, which was really funny. Like, I thought it was very hard to believe this random old man, this priest, I guess, you know, they're supposed to be scholars back then, but still, I think it's hard to believe that he just gets this guy so fucking up to speed with so much shit. With, like, really, like, rudimentary training methods, too. Like, he's got the guy doing, like, this with the water to, like, train his reaction time. Which I think
there's only
really...
so much you can do in that situation, man.
I know, but I just think it's really goofy. I can't buy that and all this other shit he's doing is, like, enough to propel this guy to such heights.
What, you want them to whip their dicks out and, like, have a sword fight that way to train?
I just wish it was a little bit more believable, is all I want from it. That's just me, though. Honestly, I think it's not really that big. I mean, it's still entertaining, but, you know... Going from the perspective, like, this is just kind of some fucking guy that just got all of this skill. He's just, like, gifted a ton of this money from some guy that just happens to know where this treasure is. It all just seems kind of contrived. But that's just me. I could be looking at this wrong. I don't think I am, though.
You wouldn't, Jackson. You wouldn't. I thought this movie was pretty sweet. The dialogue, especially in a lot of parts, were like, ooh, it was almost, like, chilling. Like, just how well it was delivered and shit like that. You know, like, for example... when they catch, like, the big boss guy, okay? The big dude who's, like, in charge of, like, fucking sending him to prison and shit like that. When they finally captured him and, like, threw him in the back of the fucking horse carriage or whatever. And they threw a gun in there, like, it's a little thing for a gentleman such as yourself. He takes the gun, he puts it in his mouth, and he fucking pulls the trigger. And he pops out behind him and is like, oh, I'd never give you such a courtesy. That was fantastic, dude. I loved that.
That's not what he said. He said, did you think it would be that easy?
Some shit like that, you know?
There's definitely a lot of cool moments like that. I can definitely respect it. I mean, it is at the end of the day, from my perspective, like, totally just like some power fantasy shit. And, you know, as it is a power fantasy, there's plenty of things where, like, the guy is just, like, you know, demonstrating overwhelming fucking power over somebody else. Like the bath scene where he just, like, completely overwhelms the guy, gets him to spill the beans, and gets him caught by the cops. Tons of shit like that where he's, like, just completely outbraining people and just...
Yeah,
embarrassing them.
I do kind of wish all of the revenge scenes were a bit more elaborate. Because, like, I think basically 2 out of 4 of them are just, like, he corners the guy in a thing, he says, you know what, I did do it, and then he, like, beats him up. Like, it's not this, like, the way he describes him getting his revenge is, like, this piece-by-piece dismantling of their entire lives, but we don't really see that.
No.
You see, in a Simpsons parody of, like, the Count of Monte Cristo, what they do in that is that Homer, who serves as the Count, sets up a big Rube Goldberg machine to kill the guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does it work?
Perfect.
Yeah, it kills him.
Nice.
Yeah, and then the woman, like, comes and cries about it, because she's like, you've been gone for so long, I had a fucking family with this guy, what are you doing, killing him like that? Which I thought that was an interesting take on it.
Yeah.
Personally, I would have liked it if he didn't, like, actually get away with the revenge in the end, though. Because, like, the old man warns him, they're like, hey, you should not pursue revenge, is not the right way to go about things. But then, like, it ends up just working out for him.
Yeah, it's very unpunished outside of his wife getting shot. Honestly, I wish your wife got fucking shot there, or the son took the bullet or something. Like, I feel like it's kind of disingenuous to show how, like, perfectly this whole plan worked out, and there was, like, no flaws with them extracting revenge, killing somebody, and jailing other people.
Yeah,
like,
definitely
very
somebody
good message.
should have died.
Yeah, he's, like, warned about it constantly, too. It wasn't even just the old man. It was, like, this little fucking... his little helper guy I can't think of the name of. He was constantly warning him about, like, this is not a good idea. You should stop doing this. You know, just take the money and run. Just take the girl and run. But he doesn't do it. He just keeps continuing. Like, they're constantly showing, like, this is dangerous. Don't do this. And he gets unpunished for it in the end. Now, you know, outside of his wife getting shot, but that's, like, immediately brushed aside the next scene where she's totally fine.
Yeah, like, even when his wife was shot, it was weird that she was even in that place with them to begin with, because she just kind of shows up.
Yeah, they, like, went there on fucking horseback. How the fuck did she get there?
Yeah. Like, I don't know if she even knew where it was. She's kind of there now.
Yeah, she's like, oh yeah, I happen to know. I'm going to go to this random abandoned ruin, and they're going to be fighting there to the death for me. Maybe this is, like, some significant place to them that
Potentially,
we're unsure about.
I will say, I did watch this film while a bit intoxicated, so there may have been some, like, little things I missed out on.
Tragic.
So yeah, I guess, Tanner, do you have anything else you want to say about this film?
No, I don't. I don't think I do. You know, obviously, it's a classic story that stood the test of time. You know, the sort of character dynamics were really engaging and whatnot. But yeah, I thought it was a nice little tale.
Yeah, I think the acting was really good. I think the set design was really solid. I think the costume design. I think they all really just felt like a convincing showing of the time period they were in. Which I guess
shout out to Jim Caviezel as our main character.
Yeah. And, like, the fucking, what's he called? I keep just calling him, like, the big bad guy who sends him to jail. That guy, though, I thought his costume looked pretty sweet as well the entire time.
True.
He looked very menacing, and like a very squealy little man.
Squealy?
Yeah, anyways. Very squealy dude.
Rankins.
Why didn't they just kill the main character, actually? Why didn't they just kill him? Why'd they send him to jail? Because, like, because killing him would be too kind, even though all he did was just have a girl that the other guy wanted, and that was it.
That's a good question, and I don't think we're prepared to answer that.
I mean, if they like straight up killed him, then, like, you know, that's some dead guy now, and, like, that's this whole thing where they have to explain this dead body.
They fake his death anyways. Like, they say he's fucking dead to people.
I guess I don't know. I guess his friend is like, well, you know, I'm still his best friend.
Yeah, I couldn't kill him. I'm just going to sentence him to life
dead.
in prison and getting whipped, like, once every some amount of time.
Right. Was that prison, like, warden supposed to be the Marquis de Sade?
Maybe.
Huh.
I don't know. I don't know what the fuck that is.
I don't like France, so I prefer not learn about their history.
Facts.
Fair enough. Anyways, I'm giving this movie an A+.
Solid. Jackson, how about you, dude?
B.
I'm thinking B+ for this movie, personally.
Okay.
Yeah, honestly, I had it at B+, and then throughout our talking, I went down to a B.
Yeah, there are definitely a few things that just feel a little too convenient as the film goes on.
Yeah.
But, like, overall, I still think it's an enjoyable time, you know?
Yeah.
Anyways, that's put us at an A-.
Fair enough.
Solid.